Welcome, my friends, and welcome to a lesson on origami, the art of folding paper. In fact, it looks sort of like this. Oh, wait a second. Wah, there we go. Origami. What does it mean? Actually, it's two words there, and if I make that distinction, I'll cut it right there. Ori means folded in Japanese, and the gami actually comes from the word kami, which means paper, folded paper. Pretty fantastic. There's a lot to a name, right? So speaking of folding paper, I do want to show you a couple of folds real quick. Now, origami paper is very delicate. It creases and folds very well, and also you'll notice it has two different colored sides. Now, when I demonstrate the paper crane in just a little bit, I'm going to use a piece of paper like this because you'll be able to see which side I'm folding in which direction. Speaking of directions, we've got a couple of different folds to go over. The first would be the valley fold. Now, this is pretty cool. With a valley fold, we're actually going to fold away like this. And what you're going to see is then a valley. How cool is that? Now, the opposite of that would be, yes, a mountain. So if I was folding this towards myself like that, that would be a mountain fold. Now, there is another type of fold here, but anytime you make a fold, you're going to want to make a crease. And there's a couple ways to do that. You can use your thumbnail. It works pretty well, but also a nice little library card or credit card will work just as well to make a nice and crisp fold. Look at that. It's pretty crisp. Now, what if I was to fold this like this? Fold another, yeah, look at that, another valley fold right there. And I'm going to crease it because I want to show you something else I can do. I can also do a type of squash fold, and that is when I'm going to take another piece and squash it down. You get these folds looking really nice. And then I'm going to fold this whole thing in half one more time. And if you have a piece of paper with you right now, you can try this too. This squash fold is going to be in our paper crane. Look at that. I'm going to actually open up this pocket right here. I have that triangle open again. I'm going to open it like this. And now, see, I've got that cup. I'm going to squash it down like that. We're going to see that fold again in a moment. But what if you don't have origami paper? Yeah, might be sort of hard to get, right? Well, you can use a piece of any paper, and if it's not the right size, we can make it that size. This one doesn't even fit quite right. It's a piece of printer paper. It's 8.5 by 11, and as you've noticed, origami paper is square. So what do we do? Well, we can turn this into a square and get our first fold done at the same time. Take the corner of your paper and fold it down, making sure to go from that point of the paper all the way across and line up those sides of the paper together. Just like, you gotta get it perfect. There we go. It's nice and lined up, and what you'll see is a triangle with this rectangle on the bottom. If I cut this rectangle right off the bottom, and you're welcome to use a paper cutter to be extremely accurate. Once I get rid of that rectangle, the resulting cut should have given me a nice square sheet of paper, and this will make a really nice piece of big origami paper. However, look at how thin this is. Look at how thick that is. It is going to be a little bit more challenging to fold thicker paper, so please don't use construction paper. I mean, you can, but you're gonna have a bad time. It's very possible. So try maybe printer paper or something thinner. I have actually heard that sticky notes work pretty well too, although you've got that sticky side there that you're gonna wanna be careful about. Okay, get yourself some paper, hit pause if you need to, and then let's get started on the origami crane. All right. Sounds like you're ready. So grab your origami paper or the paper that you prepared and let's get started. Now you'll notice with origami paper, it's very nice and delicate. It's pretty fantastic. It also has usually two colored sides, or a blank side and a colored side. And this can be very important. It helps you decide where the color is going to be on the inside or outside. And if there's two different colors, you get to choose which one that is. But especially when you're following printed instructions, it's very often going to help you to decide which way the folds are going. And it's going to help you right now because the first thing we're going to do is put our paper down like a diamond. And we're going to take that top edge and fold it straight down to the bottom corner. So all the edges and that corner are going to line up and create us a triangle. Take your card and make a nice crease. Look at how crisp that is. Okay, take that triangle and fold it again, making sure that these two corners come together perfectly, as well as the sides, and especially down when we get to this corner down here. Making sure everything is perfect, and then giving it a nice crease. It's like ironing your shirt. Take this triangle and do this one more time. Fold right over, line up those points, line up that edge, fold, and when you're happy, crease. Fantastic. Now I'm going to ask you to sort of open that up. And you'll see that triangle with a fold down the center of it. We're going to do that squash fold that we talked about just a little while ago. And it's pretty easy. Just take a look. Ready? Okay. We're going to open this up right here. See that? We get sort of a cup for a moment. And I can use my finger, or I could even use my card to help make sure everything's open. All right, so there's our triangle again. There's it open. There's still a flap underneath. I'm going to take this edge and make it the top. So I'm going to sort of change it out with this one. Now I'm noticing things aren't quite right up here. Using my card, I could pop that right out. Ready? Taking this edge and bringing it over. Bringing it over and squashing it down. And you'll see that diamond form as soon as you squash it. And then, of course, crease. Okay. It has a little wing here, right? Let's use that to turn it over. You can take a look what we've got so far. We're going to do the same thing on top. This edge is going to go out over that way. And then we're going to squash it down. Oop. Inside you go, and I can do that from that angle too. Squashing it down. And your card can be a huge help here for any stubborn folds that just don't seem to want to fold. And when you've got it right in the right place, give everything a nice crease. Cool. Let's take a look at what we've got so far. This is what it looks like from the bottom. Those two interesting flaps there. And from the top, like that. Sort of makes like an X, right? Okay. Place that diamond down. Now we're going to take this edge of this flap and not both flaps, and we're going to bring it to the center, just like this. Again, make that fold perfect and then crease it. So you're starting to form another diamond that's a little bit smaller there. You're going to do the same thing with this edge here. Pull it over, and hey, that edge can help you out a bit with lining things up. Okay, give it a nice crease. Now, also take this triangle on the top and just make him bow for a second. Bow all the way down as far as you can, right along that edge actually, and give it a nice crease. This fold's going to help us a bit later. Open that one back up, but take the whole thing and flip it over. Now what we did on this side, we're going to do on this side as well. We're going to take this corner and bring it to the center. Now there's no flap behind it. How cool is that? Okay, and give that a good fold and a good crease as well. And then you've got one more to do. There it is. Let's give it a crease. Okay, now that triangle, we're going to have him also bow on this side too. There we go. Okay, bring that triangle back up, and now this is going to be really strange. Notice you've got these two flaps here. I want you to take those and open them like doors. Okay, you've got that diamond again, but it has all sorts of creases in it. You're going to take the bottom of that diamond, I'll show you this from up above, and open it just like that, okay? Put your fingers or thumbs on those bottom flaps as it comes up, and you should see it start to close into a diamond shape. If you take your card, you can work on those stubborn folds, because eventually you're going to squash this down. It looks so magical as it happens, doesn't it? Give it a try. You'll get it, and you'll be great. Okay. But just a little bit stubborn at the top there, huh? We can fix that. If you do notice some of these areas where it's opening up just a little, now's the time to fix those very delicately. And if you're using some very fancy origami paper, be very careful. You don't want to ever tear your paper. Okay, turn it over. There's those flaps on that side. Open them up just like doors and pop open that cup. Bring that up to the top. Use those flaps to help you. Use your card to help work out those troublesome edges that just don't want to fold down for you. All right. Well, that first side was magical. This one's a little bit tougher. Wanted to give me a challenge. Okay. Oh, and I see we've got a fold that's happening there. Don't want that to happen. There we go. So again, having one of these little cards, whether it's from Fred Meyer, Kroger, a library, or some out-of-business video store, it's a very big help. A thumbnail can work, but it can't get you inside those folds. So here we go. Let's take a look at what you've got now. So you got that little triangle in there still. Might even see the shape of the crane taking form. But we've got some more folding to do. You ready? Okay, we're going to take this edge and we're going to fold that into the inside now, just like we did before, but making an even thinner fold. So again, taking that one flap and folding it to the center and lining its edge up on that center line, just like this. Perfect. And there's the card, creasing it. And we're going to do that on the other side as well. Taking just that one flap, folding it into the center, and we can line it up with its little buddy there. How cool is that? The paper can help us. Okay, and crease. Cool. Now we're going to do what we just did on this side on the other side. So flip it over. And we're going to do the same thing, folding to the center. There it goes. And close it with a nice crease. And this side as well. Get that fold perfect, be happy with it, and just like Han Solo, capture it in a crease. Yeah, I know, that was a weird joke, huh? Okay, so you should be looking at something that looks like that, okay? If you want to just investigate the folds, make sure everything's in there. Fantastic. Ready? We need to wake this crane up out of here. So come on over to this side and actually open that fold just a little bit, okay? Take that bottom point and you're going to bring it up. I know that sounds weird. The paper is going to help you a little on this. We're going to bend it up and we're going to invert it. And what that's going to look like, I'm actually going to take my card and use that to help me to invert that fold right there. Because once I do that, I should have something that looks like, it's a little bit tough, but There we go. And that can be the tail of my crane. Especially with the smaller paper, you might have a little trouble with this tip right here. Let's try the other one now. We're going to do the exact same thing after I crease this. I'm going to open this just slightly enough so I can start to bend that up and start to invert it. And again, my card is a huge help here in inverting these folds. I also want to look at the bottom here and make sure I'm lining this area up as well. All right, popped in nicely. Now we can work on the head of the crane, and then we'll be just about done. We're going to take this and bend it down and then invert it again. And the card is a huge help there. Look at that little crane's head. How cute. And now he's actually done. But there's one more step we can do. We can open up these beautiful wings so it can fly. And there's two cool things about this is that actually if you sort of use the, if you use those, the head and the neck, sometimes you can get it to flap. But look down here and you'll see a teeny tiny hole. Go ahead and pull on these wings and the neck just a little bit as you blow into it. And it should puff up just a bit. Just like that. How cool. Now, making one crane is pretty cool, but what if you could make several cranes? When I was in Japan, I received a gift from a student once, and it was this string of paper cranes. He folded all these cranes out of very beautiful origami paper, and then took a needle and poked it right through that hole all the way up through the top, through several of these. And this hangs up for good luck, and it's really nice to look at and can make a great gift. So why don't you practice folding that paper crane a couple times, and then go ahead and make a beautiful gift for someone you love. Have fun, my paper folders.